think it's all good.
2018, 2019, there was a flyer on social media saying that Wan Shey is going to be performing out of the country. But lo and behold, we waited for this performance to no avail. We never, I've checked all media platforms to find out if you really finally cured our curiosity as to what happened. The organizers or the people that invited you, was this something that we don't know about, that you want to ooze it out right now?
I see. Trying to ooze out them exclusives from me. It's all good.
Yo, Wan Shey.
Yes, sir.
Welcome, man.
Thanks, bro.
Welcome.
Thanks.
How you doing?
I'm good, bro. And you?
You can see I'm still black.
Wow.
I'm still black.
Good one.
Man, you've been missing.
I'm around, bro. Putting in the work.
Welcome to OOze Out.
Hey, thanks.
OOze Out is literally like where we peel out. You know, have you ever been cut and then there's blood? You know, just no filtering at all.
Now I'm scared, but it's okay.
That
has happened.
It's like a podcast where we don't filter it. We just let it ooze out as it is. No censoring, no filtering.
I hear you.
All the truth, no lies. You know, because
bro.
you know you guys, man. You guys always trying to, you know, when they ask you questions, you're always trying to put some things together.
I'm a rapper. I do that for a living. So don't expect me to go too far out of character. But
no, you have to though. You have to. Like that's one of the rules here. But all the same,
yeah.
You know, Wan Shey. Like when I think about Wan Shey, I think that I'm not the only one that is curious. Is that your name?
It is. My name is Shey though. Wan means child in Lamso.
Oh.
So my dad was a Shey. It's a title. Back in the village.
Wait, you said it means child.
Wan means child. Shey is a traditional title.
Oh.
So since I'm my dad's son,
Chop
cheer vibes.
I mean, this only comes from rappers.
Yeah, we try to, you know, sugarcoat some shallowness. You know, it sounds deep, but it's really not. It's not that serious.
I get the point.
It's not that serious.
And what do you want me to? What's the name that you would take most precisely? Should I call you like a spoken word artist or a rapper or a singer? What? Because your wordplay, and I'm asking this question because I think that of all of the Cameroonian artists that I've been listening to, you know, as a media person, your wordplay and the way you come up with words and your punchlines, like, have been like on the top of it.
Oh, thanks,
and with respect to even award nominations and stuff, you often fall at the, you know, lyricists and stuff like that. What name will you prefer? Spoken word artist?
I think I'm just an artist.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I do. A lot of for example, you see Da Vinci, he paints.
Right.
That is him speaking through painting.
Right.
Your videographer.
Right.
You speak through your visuals.
Right.
I speak through my words.
Pretty much.
I'm just an artist. So I'm doing what every other artist is doing, just using a different formula.
Right.
That's it. I just like to paint pictures as vividly as possible. Talking about that, I once watched an interview where Rakim was being interviewed, huge rapper, legend.
Right.
And they asked him, why is he so good with words? Rakim said, growing up, he used to listen to a lot of jazz.
Right.
Jazz, most of jazz songs don't have
words. It doesn't have words.
But he said when he listens to a song, the way the instruments play together, he can see what they're trying to show him.
Right.
And he asked himself, why can't I do this with rap? I have the words already.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'll do is paint pictures for people.
Mm-hmm.
And I think my rap career started there. That was a landmark for me.
That's amazing stuff. And I'm feeling like, looking at the milieu in which you are in, before we get into the very, very deep things, this is Cameroon, man. And I understand how Cameroonians are when it comes to music.
Yeah.
And for over the years, Cameroonians have been so in-depth with music that is not, shall I say, They are more with buzz. I mean, stuff that is related to buzz, and they are not very accustomed to deep content. How's that been like for you, having to write and bring out all of this deep content? Because your lyrics is not. I don't think that it literally. It's supposed to speak to a wide variety of people. But I think that Cameroonians. Do you think that Cameroonians are taking this music like you expect them to?
Of course. Like, what I think people have the misconception that Cameroonians don't appreciate art.
Right.
That is a huge lie. Cameroonians appreciate art so much that they won't hesitate to bring you down if what you're doing is not artistic enough.
Okay.
That is what I think.
Okay.
And when I'm writing, I actually don't write for anybody in particular. I write for anybody who loves music, anybody who can appreciate wordplay, anybody who can appreciate lyricism, anybody who loves music, period.
Right.
So if 100 Cameroonians out of 1,000 love my music, 100 out of 1 million love my music, it's fine. That means I'm 100 times richer than somebody who does not do music. It's fine. It's beautiful.
Now let's go down memory lane a bit,
Yeah.
okay? Before we come to your music, your
Oh my
art
goodness,
proper.
I don't like this. But let's go. let's go. It's
You
fine.
know that all of the challenges that comes with music. Okay,
Yeah.
it's not just in Africa, but in the world at large. How our parents have this orthodox way of thinking, like you need to go to school, have a degree, get a job. How did you get past doing music, and how was your relationship like with your parents? How did your parents take the fact that this is what you wanted to do?
I think I count myself very lucky. I grew up in a very open-minded family. My dad was this open-minded genius. So I did not grow up with a lot of restrictions. But my dad used to simply say, do what you want to do. If it's legal, fine. If it won't get you into any trouble, fine. If it ties with your principles, your personal principles, perfect. But don't let people tell you what to do, and don't do anything to impress anybody. Just do what you think is okay, what makes you happy. My dad had this obsession with happiness. He was like, try as much as possible to be happy. Let any other thing
Be a secondary.
Yes, but just be happy. Let that overflow into your decisions, your relationships, all encounters. When you pass in, when you talk to somebody, make sure you share some of that happiness. And that's it for me. That's it for me. So I have a very supportive family. Most of them still don't have an idea what I do. That is true. But those that do are very supportive, yeah.
Okay. And you want to look into that. You didn't just decide that, okay, you were going to get into the music and do singing. You decided to approach a completely different style about it, because I think that many Cameroonians are being criticized of the fact that, okay, we do music, but it's more like copycat. Even artists themselves, they talk about it. They're always like, okay, we're copying a lot. People are not being original. But your music has been more accustomed to the lamso, the language, the Bansola. I mean, you have the French, Pidgin, and English, and you're all around the place. But most of it, communication has been in your mother tongue. Why?
I think, first of all, to me, languages are just equipment you use to pass a message.
Yeah.
Like, my message is not in Lamso, my message is not in English, my message is not in any language. It's a message.
Right.
So I say it in as many languages as possible to touch as many people as possible.
Right.
Like, language is just a gateway. Pass through, communicate, relate with people, and that's it. And obviously, I'm an African Cameroonian from the Northwest. I grew up in the village.
Right.
So I speak Lamso better than any other language. So I can't even say it's a smart move, but it's a reflex for me to rap in Lamso.
Right.
Yes.
And how's that been received so far?
Perfectly. Africans love their culture. And not even Africans, everybody all over the world, every culture is in, especially at this moment, we are we are obsessed with this idea of self-preservation.
Right.
Everybody's trying to preserve their culture, and that is what I am doing. So a lot of people tend to relate. A Japanese will listen to my songs and be like, "Oh, okay, cool. This sounds nice, but what is he saying?" That leads him into a journey of discovery.
Right.
Because he now has to know that, oh, he's from Cameroon, from the Northwest, from Tor. So that is good. That is perfect.
Now, Javi said in one of his songs, I know you're getting comfortable. Let's get more serious.
I see what you're doing.
Javi said in one of his songs that rappers, you think that you can make money off rap? Like if you're going to make money off rap, you better take a hoe and go to the farm and farm, because he doesn't feel like Africans. He doesn't feel like you can actually really make money off hip hop music in Cameroon. Do you agree?
Un rappeur te dit qu'il a l'argent, t'as il te manque. L'argent que le rap donne, bête tu walk dans le champ.
He has made money, hasn't he? I don't think Jovi's broke. He has made money, and to be logical, I think the take-home message from that was not, don't do rap. It was, do rap, but understand that it's a business you're investing in. Make sure you make as much money out of it. Because you can't just go get money elsewhere, come invest into the music, and sing and rap whatever you want to rap about. You can do that, but are you going to feed off of it? Are you forever going to have the resources to keep pumping into the rap without getting anything in return? There has to be ROI. You have to get a return on investment. That is basic. I think that is what he means. And his sales are pretty good.
Right.
So
you think that some cognitive dissonance is like he's saying things in his rap, but contradicting it in his real life?
I don't actually see a contradiction here. I don't. I just think he said a rapper would say something that means three things.
Okay.
That is rap. Figure out what you want to understand. If he did not want people to rap, why would he be rapping?
Facts.
So I don't see any contradiction. I think it's all good.
2018, 2019, there was a flyer on social media saying that Wan Shey is going to be performing out of the country. That was in the US, and if I remember very well, you also did publish that flyer and made that announcement and stuff, and many people came and were like, "Oh, this is exciting! This is big as far as your career is concerned." But lo and behold, we waited for this performance to no avail. We never. I've checked all media platforms to find out if you really finally cured our curiosity as to what happened. The organizers or the people that invited you, was this something that we don't know about that you want to ooze it out right now?
I see. Trying to ooze out them exclusives from me. It's all good. I don't think I've ever talked about this on any public platform, but what happened was I did not get a visa. And I tried contacting the organizers, and they simply never got back to me.
What organization was that inviting you?
It was called KAMERFEST.
Okay.
Yes, organized by some lady.
The lady doesn't have a name.
Dib.
Okay.
I've never met her. We just talked online, and
they actually didn't make arrangements that you were going to travel?
No, we did work on some procedures. She followed up. I worked with her team, but I did not get a visa.
Okay.
So, and you probably start asking about the KAMERFEST song I did, but that was just me answering to questions that had not yet been asked at that particular moment. So, and in the song, I explained everything that happened.
At least have the decency to get to me. It was a competition, so where is my prize? They voted and I want to make a fool out of my fans. Why I even get for disrespect, you forget attention. Because deep inside I think you had good intentions. Saw pictures of the show say it was a failure. So because it no succeed, you no go give explanation. I'm not doing this for the gram, I'm doing this for closure. Had to liberate this bad energy that's blocking my mojo.
Like, my issue with the organization was
the song entirely felt like you had an issue, like you were venting.
Of course.
That sounded more like you were pissed.
Of course. No, I was venting. It doesn't.
Vent,
it
you vent
doesn't
when you're like,
necessarily
vent
mean-
is like, you know what, like what dragons do when they're appeased,
Oh my
and the
goodness.
fire and
Look, I
stuff.
was
Like,
not trying to burn anybody. I was just trying to put the facts out there. So I just needed the company to be more accountable. Because my issue was they did not get back to me. It was important that they do because it was.
they didn't?
No, after I got denied the visa, they did not get back to me.
For real?
They didn't. The lady later wrote me.
Because I'm thinking that, okay, for situations like this, the people are supposed to do, they're supposed to send you an invitation from the embassy on that side to facilitate.
They didn't. They didn't. Anyway, they did what they could. And I understand that they were.
Which was not satisfactory, obviously.
It wasn't. It wasn't. I did not get results. And it was a competition that I won. There should be a prize.
Well-deserving.
Well, thank you. There should be a prize.
So was there like a compensation when
No.
you didn't?
There wasn't. That was the problem I had. Not like I really wanted something, but I wanted them to own up and say, okay, now that you've not gotten a visa, this is what we can do in return. They didn't. But it's all good, bro. It's all good, bro.
Well, I don't think that's entirely good, and that's why we have this show right now. Okay, because a few days ago, Magasco was on OOze Out, and we did ask him like, what do you think is one of the setbacks of the industry? And he says that a big media to match up with the growth of the industry, and the fact that we're not putting out all of this information enough as to get to other platforms. And these are things that we should address.
Of course.
Do you think that platforms or organizers who are abroad, who are supposed to take our music out, are doing their jobs? Do you think that they're really doing their jobs?
I think at this level, the music the actors, the main actors in our music industry, are just trying to feed.
Oh,
It's basic. It's important, but it's a
place to start.
It has its place, but I think we've overplayed it. Now we have to evolve, and an industry can only be recognized as one when all the actors are moving together as a single block. The pressure will be felt worldwide. When we're moving as one, it's sharper. We're piercing through other civilizations, through other cultures. That would work. And I think, let me say we're trying, but there's still so much to be done.
Can we do better?
Of course we can do better. Every industry can do better. We need, by 2022, we need like 20 OOze Out kind of shows. Because people need to speak.
Facts.
People need to come on platforms like this and talk and share knowledge, share experiences, give advice for those who have advice to give.
Right.
Talk about opportunities, because at times there are so many opportunities out there that are not being exploited because there's no information. We're not informed. So I think there's hope, a lot of it, and there's talent too.
Okay. You notice that many people on the internet have come to criticize Cameroonian artists in the year 2021, to be precise. I understand that 2020 we had like the corona pandemic and stuff, but there was still art. People were putting out art. But in the first half of 2020, I know many Cameroonian artists are going to revert or refute this, but do you think that bloggers or media personalities are right when they say that Cameroonian artists have been very dormant when it comes to inspiration? Do you agree?
These are statistics. You can't argue that. When they say, I won't use the word dormant, but a lot of content has not been put out as in the previous years. That is true. And one thing people tend to ignore is Cameroonian artists were struck differently by this whole corona thing, because we literally work street to studio. Go out into the street, get money, and go pay for a studio session. If you can't access the street, you can't pay for a studio session. How do you put out new music? This affected everybody, but it's different. It's different for an artist who has to hustle. And most Cameroonian artists are independent artists. We have jobs upon jobs. The industry is small. It's not It's not paying anybody any major money. So we're still depending on other sources of income to fund the careers. So it struck us differently.
How did that affect you in person?
Well, even before Corona, I was already taking a break to work, rebrand myself, polish up the music, and I got a new team.
Okay.
Announcements will be done in the next few months, months. Let me not spill too much before I get fired. Yeah, I got a new team, an amazing team, and I've been working on a couple of projects that will be released in the coming months. So I've been working, just trying to make the sound better. If we have to compete, we can agree that we're seeing what Nigerians are doing, South Africans are doing, East Africans are doing. We're seeing what they're doing. If we have to compete with that in any form of international market, our quality has to be.
Facts.
So I've been working on that, working on the creativity to linking up with a lot of people. So that's it. I've been working.
Right.
A lot is coming. A lot is coming.
I can't wait. Trust me. Because I think that the silence has been, some time ago, I did a show and I was like, Cameroonian artists seem to think that, I don't want to call the artist name. No, I will. This is who's out. I remember I was talking about Benzil some years back, and I think he still did the same thing. And I was like, I feel like Benzil feels that the Cameroon entertainment industry is his beer parlor where he could just come in and go out at any time. He just goes on stage forever. And I think many Cameroonian artists began to emulate him. I wanted you on the show because I felt like, what's going on? I mean, this is one of the great voices, and we don't have as much rap going on, but that was my curiosity. However, talking about that, recently Mr. Leo puts out his intensely spiritual, deeply spiritual album, which he did announce, and I was scared for a bit.
Yeah.
Why was I scared? Because I'm feeling like this is a whole new Mr. Leo, are people going to receive this the same way they received the whole Afro, and stuff?
Yeah.
But going through all of the music, and I hear Wan Shey on one of them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is fire. How this music was done live, first of all. That album is like a live,
everything.
completely live production and
Special
stuff.
shout out to CFX Music. He produced the entire album.
For real?
Yeah, oh my goodness. Amazing producer.
And that was like fire. I mean, fire. So clean. Live music means a lot.
Yeah, oh my goodness.
It's not sit on your keyboard and produce and stuff. But what was amazing was how you bounce on this. How was it like? How was the experience like working on this album, coming on this album, seeing who Mr. Leo is? I understand that you guys you speak the same language.
Yeah.
I mean, aside the music language, of course. But you have Lamso that you have together.
Yeah.
How was the experience like working, being part of that album?
First of all, shout out to Mr. Leo for letting me be on his album. That was a career changer for me. Shout out to CFX too, for letting me be on the album. He produced the album, as I mentioned earlier. So it was surreal for me because through this, I've been trying to get to Mr. Leo for like 2 years.
Okay.
Of course, I've been trying to get to him for like 2 years, but he was super busy.
Right.
Super busy. But when I finally got a call from them, it was to come be on his album.
And you were like, oh.
I was like, okay. What
this is for real.
What exactly did I do to deserve this?
This is like change of events. Like, bro, you suddenly need somebody, and then at the end, you are needed.
Bro, I got a call. I was like, can you be in Douala tomorrow morning? Record on Mr. Leo's album. I was like, okay. Tomorrow they were like, yeah. I was like, okay. Can I hear the song? There's no song. Come, you and Leo are creating the song from scratch. I was like,
wait, for real?
Are you kidding me? The instrumental was non-existent. We got into the studio.
Oh wow, this is insane.
From scratch.
Both of you at the same time, like
Mr. Leo, myself, CFX, from scratch. It was crazy. Leo is genius level talented. CFX is even does the word genius sir,
Right.
exist?
These guys were giving out.
Like, oh
I
my
know
goodness.
that lyrics come easy for you, but then you are looking at these guys like, oh,
Actually, can I even say lyrics come easy? Do they? Maybe, I don't know.
don't they?
I've
Are
never.
you sure if I put you on a hot seat right now, that you should throw me some? You're not going into.
The question is, how much are you paying? Nah, it's okay. The lyrics, I think when the energy is right,
Right.
the lyrics just, as I mentioned, lyrics are just part of the whole thing. Lyrics are like the 10th thing you think about.
Right.
So
So that's why you fell in the studio.
Of course,
with them.
it was energy bouncing off each other, talking with CFX. CFX was playing instruments, playing guitars. Like, how does this sound? We're like, Leo was like, no, what if we did this? So it was, the process was enriching, and I just feel elated that Leo wanted me on his album, and it turned out fine.
How was how many days did that take
To work on the song,
to work on that particular song?
a day,
Oh, that was a day.
24 hours.
So
Like-
you guys worked and recorded.
24 hours.
For real?
24 hours. It was a full day in the
I
studio.
think lunch, supper, and breakfast, everything in the
No,
studio.
we ate after. The thing with music is when you're in it, the creative process, when you're deep in,
You everything else doesn't.
physical needs are just a thing.
Secondary,
just
like-
a thing, a whole other thing. But the whole experience, as soon as we're finished with the song, we're like, hey, not eating. Oh my goodness, terrible. So we went out and had something to eat. But the whole experience, till date, it's still surreal. And still around that vibe, a whole lot of surprises are still on the way.
I seriously can't wait.
Yeah.
Talking about your music, I think that while you were off, just curious to see what's on the streets. Trust me, I always hear a lot of stuff. Are there other investments or moves that you have been making aside to music that you care to share with us?
Of course, as I mentioned, first of all, there's this word. It's called Jadia.
Jadia.
It means come sun, come rain, it's all good.
Yeah.
You'll be hearing a lot about this sooner or later, but
Is
just-
Jadia and Lamsa or what?
I don't know. Maybe it is.
Yeah,
It is
well,
maybe it
whatever
is.
it is.
I don't know. Whatever it is, you love it. But Jadia, bro. So we've been. As I told you, I got a team, amazing team. I will not mention their name for now. They'll do the announcements themselves. I'm not trying to get
Right.
finished or anything. But I got a team. We've been working. We actually, so Jadia is actually like an investment arm
Yeah.
in our business strategy.
Okay.
So right now we're actually working with a young lady who does natural juice. It's called Natural Blend.
Okay.
Natural Blend. Call it Jadia Blend.
Okay.
Yeah, but we are working, and we are going to be working on a lot of projects like that. The thing is, my team and I, we are on this same level when it comes to like spiritual energy.
Right.
We are powering up on the same frequency.
Right.
Like it was a moment of, how can I even put it? It was just amazing for me to meet them at this particular period.
It's like it's timing.
Yeah, the timing was impeccable. So I met them. We've been working. They're in Stockholm,
Right.
Sweden. So
Okay.
we've been working. Crazy people, very weird people. They approached me. They
I approached another weird guy.
approached another weird guy. We bonded, and we decided to come together and be and spearhead this whole tribal movement I've been trying to create for a while. So it's just like, some Viking tribe meets a Bandsaw tribe,
Right.
and the result is some form of ancestral magic and
There's the spark, the explosive.
Exactly. So we have a lot of things coming. We have a whole lot of things coming up, and our arms are open.
I think that we'll be
open.
excited to share it
course.
and reveal all of those things on
Yes,
OOze
sir.
Out. Like a lot of people are going to be listening to that. And you just mentioned before we sign out of OOze Out, talking about Tribal Max, that particular album? Like, are there expectations for more albums?
Of course, there will be albums, there will be EPs, there will be videos, there will be everything.
Like lots of things. It's going to be some
Lots of
explosive approach that we're waiting for. And one of the things that was very much more intriguing to me about your job was about you doing music was the status updates.
Okay.
Like you did that over, and the stories were pretty intriguing. Why did you hold on that?
I did not
Was it like for an EP perspective, or was this is what you want to be doing, telling the stories and yeah, it's titled status update?
I think every project has its feel, has its message.
Right.
So you have to treat each project as a separate entity. Like people have to understand that in this project, Wan Shey had this particular idea that he wanted to pass through. This was Wan Shey's state of mind. Right. So Status Update was a trilogy. It was Status Update 1, a single dropped with a video. Status Update 2, same thing. Status Update 3 was an EP.
Okay.
So it was a trilogy. Two singles that culminated in an EP.
Right.
So that was the plan that I had. After Status Update, I dropped 2 other EPs, Chokche and Serene. I dropped them as it was a twin EP project. Drop and check them out on Spotify and all other distribution platforms. Then I dropped the Tribal Marks album. So based on this strategy, I still have a lot of projects coming up that are like this. To me, it's always dropping a project is always an opportunity to share who I am and what I am at the particular period of my life.
Right.
That's what I think about things, how I see things, how I feel about things, the people who are present in my life at that particular point. So it's my entire career is just a succession of status updates. Always updating my supporters, family, friends. That is what I do. I just communicate through music. That's all I do.
Facts. And the very last, I've been asking everybody this question because for some reason I think that there's conversations that people are having a lot on the internet, and we need to find like what the problem is. Do you think, in your opinion, that we have a very powerful, or should I say successful, entertainment industry? What do you think, in your opinion? Cameroon.
Let me get this straight. For those of you watching, I'm helping you ask him this question. Sorry that I'm not asking your question straight.
I'm good.
You're on OOze out too, so
I am.
Look, when you say successful, what are we talking about? Talent-wise or business?
I'm talking about all of the facets or segments of an industry that is supposed to make an industry exist. And by that, I'm going to break it for you. You know that there's an artist manager, there's a songwriter, there's a sound engineer, there is a distribution company, there are people who are there to copyright this music, and all of that is now all put together to make artists rip off their art. Do you think that we have all of these things readily available to make our entertainment industry strong, powerful? I mean, that includes the media and all of this. Do you think that we have all of this? That
unfortunately, no. We are still at our baby stages. We're still
how long?
working.
How long do we have to?
I don't even think it's an issue of how long or how fast, but how well. Because it won't help anybody if we develop everything in 5 years, but it's subpar, it's not world class.
Right.
It has to happen, and investors have to come in. Artists have to understand that this is a business. When you're getting into the studio, it's to create a product that has to sell. And what do you do when you want to sell something? How do you brand it? How do you package it? What do you do? Media personalities have to understand that it's a content game. It's a content game. I think finances will come, but it's a content game. You have to place a lot more value on the content, create content, and you cannot create content on your own. For example, a show like this, you need guests.
Right.
You need guests, and guests who have to understand that you're the right frame of mind. You're trying to promote something. You're trying to be part of a powerful movement.
Right.
Guests coming here, feel honored. Okay, this Karawa is doing something great. We want to be a part of this.
Right.
So it's a whole movement. It has a lot of moving parts that need to come together and propulse this machine. So to me, we just need to stay focused, create as much art as possible, make sure the world hears it. If media supports us, get new partners in and out of the country, because there's talent already.
Right.
There is talent. Cameroon has been blessed with talent.
Like
Food too. Those who love food, but talent. Yes. So I think we just have to work on creating a business model that can keep our industry, that can build this industry, birth this industry, and sustain it for the next 50 years. And I think the responsibility falls on us right now. CFX usually says we are the sacrificial generation when it comes to show business. Our job is going to be set an example, set a pace, and then move on. Next generation, those are the ones who are coming to benefit from whatever we are creating. Because this is the first OOze out.
Exactly. This
is the first OOze out. It has to be more.
Right.
So everything, a lot of things are still first.
Right.
But in the next generation has to take over from this. Yes. So you just have to be supportive. Make sure function based on business models that enrich everybody, every active member, the artist, the communicator, the video director, everybody. Everybody. It has to be a movement. Is not just when a leader pops up and says, "I want this, follow me." No, it's when people come together with the same idea and say, "Look, let's work on this. While feeding our families, of course.
Right.
Let's work on this while feeding our families, enrich each other." And the result of this is huge for everybody. Everybody. If the economy is doing well, everybody is doing well. A carpenter will do well because your song sold well.
Right.
People don't understand that it's a whole dynamic that works
right
like this, hand in glove. So I think a lot of people think music is just a tiny part. It's not. It's not. The economies that can be created and sustained based on what music brings in. So let's just get serious. Do what we have to do.
And talking about that, you realize that the people that are in the stakeholders or the executive producers are often way more concerned about the money-making part. And that brings me to this question where I'm thinking that has become a demise for many young Cameroonian artists, which is, in your career, was there a time where you signed the wrong contract that put you on edge?
Actually, no. I consider myself very lucky because I've never... Before I started music, I already understood what I wanted, and it was very clear. I knew I had an issue of finance, but I had the talent.
Right.
So my idea was sacrifice and put out as much content as possible without having to sign a crappy deal.
Right.
When the right people come, there will be a deal. Like what I am in right now is, we don't really call it. It's not like a record label signing an artist.
Right.
It's just two like-minded, creative people coming together to advance a tribe, an ideology.
Right.
That's just what is happening. I will call it Njangi.
Right.
It's Njangi inspired.
Right.
But that is what we are doing.
Facts.
That's what we're doing. Like, make sure everybody feeds from whatever is being created. keep expenses as low as possible, share profit equally, stay honest, and build a business. Build a business. Make sure success goes around. Who's not trying to succeed? So I think I found amazing partners, very weird partners. But it's fine. It's fine. I'm good. I'm very comfortable with the deal I'm in. I'm very comfortable with my partners, and
let's see how that goes.
Let's see how that goes. Let's see how that. They said that a couple of days ago too. They were like, because at times I expect them to be like, hey, no, Wan Shey, you have to do this. You have to be. No, they're always like, look,
let's see how that
what if we did this?
Right.
And
that's being suggestive.
and
Makes
Jadia,
you comfortable.
Yeah.
Platform to create more.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Which at the end of the day is the most important thing, because the craft holds the business.
Right.
There's no product. What are you selling?
Fact.
So we are much more focused on creating good content that can be marketed the next couple of years, building relationships, which is very important for us, building relationships, empowering other young entrepreneurs, and staying afloat as a business. That's the most important.
Thank you so much, bro.
Yes, sir, bro.
Thank you so much for coming on the show. Ladies and gentlemen, that's all we had for you guys today on OOze Out. And we're so excited to have a very special guest, the big Wan Shey, with us today. And we're hoping that you're going to join us next time when we bring you more episodes on OOze Out. You know how it is. We're always here to give you what's hot and what's not. It's your boy, Karawa. Peace.
Mommy attention, mommy attention, oh. Mommy attention, mommy attention, oh. Mommy attention, mommy attention, oh.